Purple Daily is daily Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die. I will ride with this group. Seriously, man. Please. And away we go.
Write this down. Write it down. You like writing things down.
Okay, boys, this is a big one here today because it's day one of the 2025 Write That Down season, a blank slate for everyone. But it's also the final accountability session of the 2024 season and the crowning of champions of accuracy and of touchdowns here. And we're going to do this also on the OG edition of Write That Down on Mackie and Judd and the Score North YouTube channel. So if you're looking for a show that actually has the stones to put statistics next to our predictions, unlike the rest of the sports media world, you've come to the right place here. Presented today in part by Quick Trip, Judd, a great partner of ours and a great place for the audience to stop to kick off their day.
Speaking of crowning champions, if I'm going to crown the champion of convenience stores, well, that is a runaway winner for Quick Trip, because guess what? Quick Trip is the only one that is like a grocery store, but it's a convenience store, which makes your life so simple. On your way to work, you forgot lunch? Who cares? Quick Trip is there. There is the Kruba coffee right there. We're going to round the corner. We're going to see all of the selections of pizza. That's right. Quick Trip has everything that you could possibly want. And now you're saying, but Judd, I'm sort of like you. I don't like to socialize. I don't like to go inside of places. And I'm going to tell you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. You know why? Because you can put that app right on your phone. They will bring your stuff out to you. How much easier can they make life? The champions of convenience. That is Quick Trip.
Yeah, go climb Cheese Mountain inside Quick Trip and stand atop. Also, Write That Down, presented every week by North American Banking Company, a Minnesota-based banking company, and a great experience if you're looking for just a more human and personalized banking experience. 6 locations across the Twin Cities: Maple Grove, Roseville, Shoreview, Hastings, Woodbury, and 50th in France. You know, I was telling you guys a few weeks ago that I had a really bad experience, and it's actually kind of still ongoing. We're trying to put a close to it with a very, very well-known national bank, but not North American Banking Company, which is very much about personal relationships. It's easier to get a hold of a human, which sometimes is all you need. So whether you're looking for a better checking and savings experience, or maybe you're looking at something bigger, like starting a new business, nabankco.com/Mackie to learn more. That's nabankco.com/Mackie. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Write this down.
All right, boys. Well, here's how it works. If you're either new or need a refresher, write that down every week on this version, the football and Vikings version on Purple Daily. 3 Vikings or football-related predictions from everybody each week. They must be quantifiable. Those are the rules. We keep track of completion percentage and touchdowns here. And if you are a listener, like Cole is about to jump in here in a few minutes, and you want to participate as a guest predictor, you can send Declan a message through the Score North app. All right, we'll start with Judd, the final accountability session of the season here. Now, the listeners have a really large touchdown lead going in, and Declan has a pretty comfortable completion percentage lead. So it's not quite as dramatic as the wide open OG edition, and we'll get to that today as well. But Judd, you came on pretty strong here to close the season.
I like what I'm seeing. You know what? If nothing else, a huge jumping off point for 2025, boys, right here. I've set a tone. I've set a tone. I'm coming. I'm back.
Is this like was it Tim Brewster who once was the Gophers got drubbed by somebody like Wisconsin or something, but they scored the last touchdown of the game?
Yeah, it's pretty comparable.
And it provides momentum going into.
Brew is a great man. I'm taking a page from Brew. I love that.
So we'll start with the bad. You said Mike McCarthy will be the next head coach of the Saints. Kellen Moore. You said Kwesi would win NFL Executive of the Year. It was Brad Holmes, I believe.
It was. You're correct.
Back-to-back for him. Pretty good. Brian Flores, AP NFL Assistant Coach of the Year. Ben Johnson.
Yeah, finalist, right?
Yep. And you said Greg Olsen will be in the booth with Tom Brady and Kevin Burkhardt for the Super Bowl.
Sometimes you're right, and people don't listen to you. So, this should be in green, and Fox should get the instead of me.
On the good side, You had 4 come off the board, including 3 touchdowns. Kevin O'Connell wins NFL Coach of the Year. And because you predicted that in early October, when it was still very much like 3 months to go in the regular season, we're going to give you a touchdown on that one. It was a good start to the year for O'Connell, but
absolutely,
to carry it home, he was not the odds-on favorite. You said Rick Spielman would join an NFL front office before the end of the 2025 season. Consulting role counts.
Well, I forgot how smart I am.
You said Jaden Daniels on April 10th, 2024, before the draft. You said Jaden Daniels will be AP NFL Rookie of the Year. Wow. And you said this will be Aaron Rodgers' final season with the Jets. Yeah.
I've inspired myself this morning.
Nice little comeback.
I have inspired myself. I am tearing up right now because this is such an impressive performance. I need a moment.
Speaking of impressive performances, let's talk about my predictions. We'll start with the bad. I said we will see at least 2 touchdowns of 40 or more yards scored in the Super Bowl. It's a bad beat, man. Because, well, wait a second. Hold on a second.
Are you sure?
The Cooper DeJean was 38 yards, but I feel like we had 2 bombs. Why did I mark
We
this?
did.
There was one at the end. There was a garbage time.
There was definitely a fourth quarter one.
Hold on.
Wait, didn't
think
both teams get one?
quarterbacks had a.
Didn't we get a long like Devontae Smith touchdown pass, and then I want to say Mahomes.
Yeah, well, Mahomes had that FU pass at the end where it's like, all right, we're going to lose this game.
46-yard pass from Devontae Smith.
And a 50 to Xavier Worthy.
Yeah.
Oh,
got it?
man. Let's go, dudes.
You dinged yourself.
Yeah. I know. So I got to go back into the spreadsheet here.
That's a touchdown, right? Touchdown prediction. I mean,
it is.
That's not a normal amount of yards for 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I think I was checking some of these off during the game, and I think because that last touchdown came really late. So I think early in the fourth, I just checked this one. I was disgruntled.
The drinks were just flowing, but by that point, like it's just cocktails and Pep's Pizza all around the house.
Black Stack, tall boy.
You're like, guys, I think
I did at one point crack open one of those like margarita cans, like the canned margarita things, because we had some carnitas. Anyways, so okay, we'll give credit for that one. And then A.J. Brown. This is a tough one. A.J. Brown will go over 70.5 receiving yards, and the Inner Excellence book would be shown at some point leading up to or during the game. The book was shown, and he scored a touchdown, but he did not get to 70.5 receiving yards in this game. That pass interference, that bogus call early, is what essentially made up the difference here. Got screwed. I did tell you guys that the Eagles would have a double-digit lead against the Chiefs at some point during the Super Bowl. I said I thought this wouldn't happen for several weeks, but I said there'd be a credible report linking Sam Darnold to the Raiders by March 10th. And Adam Schefter came in on Super Bowl Sunday and gave his old, like, a team to watch with the Raiders, Sam Darnold or whatever. And he kind of coded it in speculation. So I don't know. If you guys want to fight this, I guess we can keep it on.
No.
I mean, Schefter
connecting
the dots.
Nope.
I thought the same.
Yep.
Okay.
Same thing.
And then I said Josh Allen would win most valuable player. And he did.
It's not a bad finish.
No, we'll take it. So, listeners, Frank, we'll start with the bad. Frank said Drake May will be in the top 3 among AFC vote getters for Offensive Rookie of the Year. He was 4th among AFC players. Sam said 2 of the top 5 vote getters for Defensive Rookie of the Year will not be first-round picks. Ben said Travis Kelce catches the game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl. Dylan said the Chiefs would win their 3rd straight Super Bowl, and Travis Kelce will propose on the field after the win. Maybe that's why he was so sluggish in the game. His plans were...
He was very upset that Tay got booed, I think.
Yeah. Well, like... The stadium was 75% Eagles fans. They booed Santa Claus one time.
Which is funny because...
Of course they're going to boo Taylor Swift.
It's funny because she grew up an Eagles fan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so they're booing her for being a traitor.
Yeah.
Booing her just in general because they're Eagles fans. Let's see here. Bob said Jared Allen would be inducted into the 2025 Hall of Fame. He's been knocking on the door for a few years. Finally got in. And then Zachariah said the 2024 Rookie of the Year will not be drafted within the first 12 picks of the draft. So this is kind of a technicality in that the offensive Rookie of the Year was. But the defensive Rookie of the Year was Jared Verse, and he was outside the top 12.
Nice.
So we're going to give Zachariah a point for this one. And then old Dex tweets. We'll start with the bad.
Oh, God, this is such a bad beat. Both these are bad beats.
Your Kendrick Lamar parlay that he would play Not Like Us, Humble, DNA, All the Stars, and Money Trees.
Missed it by one. He did not mix in Money Trees.
Okay.
I got all the other four in.
Very controversial, too. I've seen more about that show than I recall on almost in any halftime show previously.
I love the people now calling for what's his name? Alexis Ohanian, Serena Williams' husband, to just straight up divorce her because why would you go on national TV? Why would you fly all the way to New Orleans, go on national TV to do basically a tap dance on your ex's grave dance? And then it's like, you might as well just people calling for the divorce.
Yeah. I'm not divorcing her. Like, let's look at the bank account. Oh, this is the final line. This is the final straw. Yeah. No, I don't think I'm doing that if I'm him. Yeah, exactly. I'm good.
Dex, you said the national anthem would go over 120.5 seconds.
Just
and
an insane
almost all of the sports books, I think all of them are saying it was under by like a half second.
That's why they put the half.
Yeah.
That's a terrible beat. You're right.
He even kind of dragged it on, just trolling the under.
Did three, land of the freeze.
Three. Which, by the way, can you alter the song that much?
Sure. I guess.
You could.
I mean, I'm fine with it, but I'm just asking if it's that, like, hey, here's the thing. I'm going to retool this song completely.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely. I think he was troll. I think he probably had a stopwatch. He was trolling the under.
Oh, so you think I like that? That's good.
Like, I could let him down easy and come up 15 seconds short, or I could add a few extra lines to the end of the song and then pull the rug a half second before.
Yes.
Let's see. Saquon Barkley would account for at least 150 all-purpose yards. Didn't need to.
Yeah, slow day.
Just the threat of Saquon Barkley opened up big plays down the field. You said we'd see at least one player secure an octopus in the Super Bowl. So a touchdown and then the ensuing 2-point conversion.
All those touchdowns. I think it would happen at least once, but.
Yep. You said Caitlin Clark would be in a Super Bowl commercial. She was.
A little backdoor one there, too.
And that the Gatorade for the winning team would be yellow or green. So a couple correct ones. And with that, I'm going to put on the screen here for the YouTube audience the final results of the 2024 Purple Daily Write That Down season, where Declan Goff maintains the completion percentage, accuracy category 38.9%, ahead of my 35%, Judd 32.2%, listeners 29%, but the listeners running away 21 touchdowns, a new season high in the 4-year history of Purple Daily. Write that down.
Bravo.
So
Declan,
congrats to Dex.
Listeners, you're awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then just I spent some time finally putting together, and I did this for the OG edition too, which goes back even longer. But on the screen here, and we'll read this for the audio audience. We've got the all-time season by season accuracy champions and touchdown champions. So Declan, 3 consecutive completion percentage titles here.
Oh wow, Dex,
it's a Declan dynasty in terms of accuracy.
Never been done
Purple
before.
Daily.
There's no GOAT debate here.
Well, actually, though, the problem is now people hate you
Oh yeah, no, people don't.
because they're just sick of your they want you to lose.
Yep, that's fine. That's okay.
And you also set the all-time single season completion percentage record, 38.9%, beating your previous high of 38% last year, 36% in 2022. And Judd, you're the only other accuracy champion back in 2021, 34.6%. In terms of touchdowns, listeners took it home with 21 this year. Dex had 18 last year. I had 19 in 2022, and the listeners They took the first touchdown championship in 2021 with 16. So we set high watermarks in the accuracy category with Dex and in the touchdown category with the listeners. Give it up for yourselves.
That's some
what
impressive
a season.
stuff. That's some very impressive stuff.
Some good history. So all-time stats, Declan just under 37% career completions, and the listeners with 60 career touchdowns lead that category. Amazing, dudes. Another Write That Down season in the books.
Right. Week one. Week one of predictions.
Day one, week one.
Oh, man, you're not even going to celebrate. You're like Saban was.
Yep.
Like it's
Nick said, what do you think about now?
Recruiting.
Oh, I got a recruiting trip in 2
going
days.
on recruiting.
Bro, you just
asking
won your
me.
47th national championship. Are you not going to drink a glass of wine? No.
Declan's just turning the page
Quit
on a
asking,
championship
all right?
season.
Quit asking.
Quit asking.
Quit asking. All right, let's get Cole in here. He is the guest listener predictor to debut in the 2025 season. Cole, what's going on, man?
Just excited to start the listeners off strong. We're coming for you, Dex.
Oh, God.
Love it.
Dude,
I love it.
the listeners they've been honing their downfield game. Now it's time to hone the intermediate range and increase that completion percentage. So, Cole, give us your background as a Vikings fan, man. How'd you get hooked on this thing?
So it's a little weird growing up in Utah because we don't really have a team. My family's a weird conglomeration of Saints, Broncos, and Seahawks fans. But just a random game, 2013 something, found the Vikings, thought they had cool helmets, and I saw, I think, Adrian Peterson just carving someone up. So I thought that was awesome.
Man. They do
and
have
then
cool
just
helmets.
misery from there,
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm glad I signed up for this.
This is great.
Yeah, I was born in 2002, so I was a little too young for the 2009 season. I guess 2017 season would have been the first one, but
Yeah.
we kind of got bow raced by the Eagles, so it didn't really even feel like a heartbreak.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, the Eagles are sitting here kind of sneaky because they've had two different iterations. The first Super Bowl champion was a totally different team, but in terms of dynasty rules, like the Chiefs had, is it 3 championships over like a 5-year period or something? Let's say the Eagles go back to back, so they get one and they go 2017 and then 2024 and 25. So it'd be 3 titles within a decade. We've in the past in football, we've done that. We're like, the Niners got one in 82 and then another like 2 later in the decade. Is it a dynasty?
Well, yeah.
If the Eagles get a third?
It's also a 4 trip. They lost one of the Chiefs too. So 100%. Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm almost more sick of seeing the Eagles at this point than the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I agree completely. I still do not get how people could be that anti-Chiefs when the Eagles are the biggest bunch of jackass fans in the entire league. It's like
jackass.
So you're celebrating like the Chiefs. The Chiefs have, beyond being good, there's really nothing wrong. Like their fans aren't obnoxious. Their team is not, for the most part, obnoxious comparatively to the Philadelphia fans, who are the most obnoxious, disgusting, vile people. Like they are vile.
I don't know that yes, but the Chiefs are gaining some ground too. I mean, they've got it's becoming a little Dallas Cowboys 25 years ago.
But that doesn't make them
base.
Jackasses.
That's fair.
Like they hurl beer cans at you in the parking lot.
I also
Judd,
got
you're soft,
the biggest,
Judd. Come on, Judd. You're
biggest
being soft.
Vikings fan in the world.
What do we got here?
Right here.
Oh,
this is
Captain.
Yeah.
No, that is
Who's a good boy?
Good Vikings fan.
Yeah. So we'll start with Captain and Cole, and then over to Judd, back to Dex, and then I'll round things out here. The first predictions of the 2025 Write That Down season.
Write this down.
Cole, fire away.
All right, Judd would be proud. I got the handwritten notes here, ready to go.
Hold on a
I
second.
do need Mackie to take his headset off, though.
Oh,
Wow, dude. Okay.
I'm gonna tear up here. I'm so proud. Get some Kleenex out.
Sports dad.
It's another sports son. It's another sports son.
one
Really learned
second
well.
here, Cole. Make sure these headphones are off from Philip. All right.
Yep.
We're good to go.
Okay, Dex, I want you to be the judge, jury, and executioner for this prediction.
Okay.
But I want one that can come off the board right away.
Okay.
And my prediction is whenever the listeners make a prediction like this with the headphones off, Mackie always likes to make a little joke or quip like, ooh, could it come off the board right now? Could it come off the board right away? I'm predicting he's going to make a little joke, little side comment about, ooh, I'm nervous. This prediction's going to come off the board.
This is genius. This is freaking genius.
So
I love this.
Yeah, Dex, up to you.
Yeah, nope.
My life is in your hands.
That's totally fair, and I have it written down. And in about
Perfect.
5 to 10 seconds here, we're about to see if it comes off. Okay,
Yeah, it
So
could
I'm gonna-
happen, in 30
Yeah.
seconds from now. He could get
Right.
nervous.
So I'm going to signal
So-
for Phil to come on, and then we'll go from there. All right.
Perfect.
Phil, look at me. Phil, look at me. You can come back. He's taking a sip of his tea. Let's see here.
Gotta
here.
cross that
Put
one
the
off in the
cans-
notes.
Oh, wait, nope. He's gotta. There we go.
All right. Is it going to happen on this episode? Am I going to step into a landmine?
Dex.
Ding, ding, ding. Cole got it. Full prediction has come off the board.
Just
Just stepped right into the landmine?
you did. Yep.
Yeah.
You just like walked right
did.
off the cliff.
Well, okay. Well, I have to log the prediction now. What was it?
So Cole predicted that.
Actually, you go ahead and log it in.
Yeah, I have it logged.
Okay.
Cole predicted that when you come back from taking your headphones off, you're gonna make a quip. You're gonna make a comment about, is it gonna come off the board? There's gonna be some type of comment. So you literally.
That's a check down and a half.
he
If I've ever seen
literally
one.
went right into it.
Yeah, but can I say this for Cole?
down.
This is opening day, listeners. 3 home runs. This is
That's Kirk
Tuffy
Cousins
Rhodes
behind the line of
Cubs
scrimmage, man.
84. Like, but like you
Tuffy
stepped
Rhodes.
up to the plate and just had one of the great opening days. Like right now, the listeners lead for 2025, and we haven't even done a prediction yet. It's incredible.
They're establishing the run right off the bat here.
I have great
love it,
respect for this. I have great
Write this
respect.
down.
I think that's awesome.
All right, Judd.
All right, with the amount of news that's come out around the league, the amount of reckless speculation, I'm going to make some speculative, write that down, it's about where guys are going to land.
Wow.
Aaron Rodgers will sign with the Tennessee Titans. Aaron Rodgers will end up with the Titans.
And then everyone's going to get fired within 10 months.
Oh, probably. I don't know Brian Callahan is good. I don't know, and I think Aaron's gonna try to go to a place where he senses that he can take advantage, bully the coach.
Yeah.
And I think the Titans are. Callahan did some things this year that I really didn't like. Like in KO's first year, there were probably some missteps, but you never really questioned him and said, wow, something wrong here. I mean, the dude won 12 games, right? The Levis thing, the back and forth on that, some of his press conferences, I think we're going to have a situation here that Aaron Rodgers is going to take advantage with the Titans.
I don't know if Callahan is good.
Write this down.
Is my favorite take of the.
I don't know if he's
the
good.
show so
I
far.
think he might. I think he might be an OC. I think that might be his job in life.
He also might just need someone who isn't Will Levis as his quarterback. We'll find out.
He just didn't manage it well, I didn't think.
All right, Dex.
All right.
Write this down.
I have a Titans prediction as well. Write this down. I think Brian Callahan is good. No, that's not my prediction. Write it
Just
down.
a prediction.
Brian
Tit-
Callahan will be good next year.
He will be
Write it
good.
down.
I don't know what the quantifiableness is there, but instead, write this down. The Titans will trade out of the first pick. They'll move back. They're gonna
We
accumulate
all
more
have
picks.
Titans predictions to
Amazing.
start here.
Write this down.
Amazing.
Titans Daily.
I'll just give you the first prediction. This is not like piggybacking. Sam Darnold will play for the Titans in 2025. Or I'll just to make it more specific, Sam Darnold will sign or be traded to the Titans. So Sam Darnold will be a Titan 2025. Write it down. I love the idea of them trading back to Dex's prediction. Or even like take the edge rusher from Penn State. Maybe he's the best player in the draft. You got your quarterback set for a few years if you think Sam Darnold at age 27 can sling it around. Kind of love that idea. All right, back over to Cole here. Second
I
prediction.
feel like I have to make a Titans prediction now.
Let's
Titans
do
will fold. The Titans will
let's do
fold.
12 Titans predictions.
Titans
Let's just make
daily.
it happen.
My prediction is that the Vikings will trade out of the first round.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to keep their pick because they have so little, and they need a lot of draft capital.
Yeah, that's a possibility. It's absolutely a possibility. And if they do, and they pick up a couple extra, day 2 picks or something, I don't know if you can fault them. Go get a couple extra
Write this down.
little chips.
All right, continuing down the path of, a lot of guys have demanded trades or might be let go. Deebo Samuel will play for the Chargers next season.
Kind of love that.
Deebo Samuel will land with a team that's got a coach who he didn't play for him, but comes from the same team. A quarterback who, yes, Declan might be right in the playoffs, but Herbert's a good, certainly regular season QB, and he didn't have much talent. Deebo Samuel, to me, makes a lot of sense playing for the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah. Yeah, there's probably a couple years left of juice there, but you're going to have to figure out that contract, and he's kind of a pain in the ass, too. He's been a little more diva-like the last couple years. I feel like maybe that Netflix wide receiver show went to his head.
Well, most of those guys, we're so spoiled with Jefferson.
Yeah, 100%. You'd think if Jefferson was going to turn diva, it would have happened at some point in the lead up to the new contract or in the year after, right? I don't want to jinx anything, knock on wood, but if it was in there creeping around, like Stephon Diggs, it took a few years and all of a sudden it popped out. Yeah. Yep. All right, back to Dex here.
All right, write this down. I thought Cole was going to snipe me, but I'm still safe here. So the Vikings will trade back from 24, but will still have a first-round pick. So I think they'll move back a couple slots and just delay and have some boo birds at our draft party as they continue, as we're nearing hour 4 of our draft party, and then they're going to move back like 3 more spots, and we'll have to wait like 20 more minutes. But yes, I still think they'll have a first-round pick, but they'll move back. Write it down.
That draft party, by the way, at the Fillmore, again, as we announced earlier this week, and tickets are available 10 a.m. Central Time, March 10th, scorenorth.com/draft. And yeah, whether they have a first-round pick or not, or whether they pick up an extra first-round pick, we're going to have a good time hanging out at the Fillmore.
Write this down.
Okay, write this down. A credible report will link Kirk Cousins to the Vikings in February or March. So off the record, he's going to get cut. He's going to force his way. Right now, the Falcons are trying to kind of patch this thing together. Oh, yeah, he'll just be the backup to Michael Penix. We'll just pay him $45 million to be the backup. But apparently they can't get a hold of him. Kirk and his camp are playing the game here. So the Falcons, there's like a big roster bonus owed at some point the first or second week of March. And then if he's on the team at a certain point in March, a part of his 2026 salary is guaranteed. So like there's no way they keep him on the roster. So he's going to get cut. He has offsetting language just like Russell Wilson did. So he will be available for like $1 million for his new team. And that's when the linkage will start to occur. Write it down.
Oh,
Judd's going to pop a vein in the side.
No,
of
my
his
head will pop off.
It's going to be hilarious.
It won't be a vein.
It'll be
my entire head. It'll just go.
All right, back to Cole for your third and final prediction.
All right, my last prediction is kind of to spite my brother and the Broncos, and all the rookies from last year. I think J.J. McCarthy will have more regular season touchdowns than any of the rookies did this year, which I think was Bo Nix with 29.
Wow. Total touchdowns or passing touchdowns?
Whichever one Bo Nix had more of.
Okay.
I think it was passing touchdowns.
Yeah, Bo Nix had like 28 passing touchdowns.
Yeah.
So we can
passing touchdowns.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, Cole, coming out right away, just putting the listeners at the top of the 2025, write that down, standings and food chain. Since you've got this life-altering platform right now, is there anyone you'd like to thank that helped you get to this peak moment?
I'd like to thank you guys. The new NFL Take Show, I've been asking for that quietly behind my screen for a while. That's awesome. Super happy you guys are doing that. Yeah.
Football.
And then I'd like to thank my fiance for sticking with me even when I start slamming my fist on the couch. Especially the Bills Vikings game last year. That was the greatest game I've ever watched, where Kendricks got that fumble in the end zone. I was already out the door, super pissed off. I can't believe we lost that game to the Bills. But yeah, It was awesome. And thank her for not leaving me for my baby temper tantrums over
She's
football.
like, what's wrong with you?
Vikings rage.
What is your It's a football game.
CJ Ham. Honey, calm down. Why are you?
We need to
yelling?
cut CJ Ham too. It's his time.
It's time.
I love the
yeah.
hamster. but
Maybe he can be in the Ring of Honor someday
CJ
for his
Ham
service to
hate
Minnesota
on
football.
this show across the board.
I love him. I love the hamster is awesome, but it's time.
He doesn't play.
It's okay. It's okay for it to be time. Just like Adam Thielen, it was okay that it was his time.
He can be the new running backs coach or something. We'll find a role for CJ Ham. So Cole, great stuff, man. A great start to the 2025 Write That Down season. We'll get you on again sometime, man.
Sweet. Thank you, guys.
All right, there he is, guest listener predictor Cole. This weekend, so the 2025 North American Banking Company Minnesota Golf Show is happening this weekend, Friday through Sunday.
Next weekend.
Next weekend, yes, next weekend, because today is the 12th, and in a week and a half, it'll be the 21st through 23rd.
What is this weekend versus next weekend?
No, you're right.
I said it right, but
in like a week and a half, the Minnesota Golf Show is going to happen.
I'm so confused.
Sorry, I'm confusing everyone right now. But here's what's going to happen on that Saturday at 1:30, Purple Daily live at the North American Banking Company Minnesota Golf Show. So come hang out with us. Tickets are available at mngolfshow.com, and every ticket purchase includes 10 free greens fee passes. So that's like $350+ and probably more than that, actually, in value with those green fee passes. And you get to come hang out with us, and we'll do a live Purple Daily at 1:30 on Saturday of the golf show. You can find a full schedule, mngolfshow.com. Butcher and the Boar also helping to power Purple Daily these days, Judd.
Absolutely. And guess what? There is no better place in the Twin Cities for a gathering space for Southern-style hospitality than the Butcher and the Boar. Happy hour, 4 to 6 every day. Absolutely fantastic. And they're in the North Loop. So if you're going to a Wolves game, if you're going to an event downtown, Butcher and the Boar is definitely a great place to stop and have a fantastic meal. And by the way, during the happy hour, which, as I said, runs from 4 to 6 on weekdays, get the Judd special. That's right, the Sports Dad special. What is that, you say? It's a beer, a brat, and a shot for $15. A huge handmade beer brat with sauerkraut and mustard. Any draft beer, any rail shot. The Butcher and the Boar is absolutely a fantastic place to dine. So check them out in the North Loop in Minneapolis.
And Roku TV. Roku is America's #1 TV streaming platform. And I've talked about for the entire season, if I go back like 10 or 12 years with originally the external Roku plug-in device when like smart TVs were pretty new. Now Roku says, we'll just make it easy. We're just going to make our own TVs. And so you can go into pretty much any retailer that sells TVs near you and go get a Roku Pro Series 4K TV. We've got a 65-inch one in our living room. It's been awesome for football season. And it'll automatically adjust picture quality depending on what you're watching, whether it's sports or a movie, whatever it may be. So go check them out, Roku.com, to learn more, or shop at a retailer near you.
Write this down.
All right, we're back to Judd, third and final prediction here.
All right, third and final, keeping with the with my previous two. I'm going to give you this one. Write this down. Myles Garrett will be a Washington Commander. Myles Garrett will be a Washington Commander. They've got the money. They've got the need. It makes a ton of sense. They have now gone from being a dumpster fire franchise to really good. So Myles Garrett to Washington.
Yep, that makes sense. I mean, if you're Washington, we did this a couple of weeks ago on Purple Daily NFL Takes, our new weekly NFL show. But if you're Washington, Detroit, or even Buffalo with a little bit of a different defensive scheme, but those are like Washington's hasn't been banging its head against a wall. They're like ready to go and accelerate this thing. But if you're Detroit or Buffalo, just to give your team a spark going into training camp so it doesn't feel like Groundhog Day and like you missed your opportunity. Yeah, there's some really interesting teams out there. I wish the Vikings made sense. There was a time 15 years ago where Jared Allen was the Myles Garrett on the market. Kind of a different circumstance of why he got traded.
Yeah. Yep, no.
It was like,
right.
man, it's been so many years since the Vikings had a legitimate pass rusher. If they could just go get a dude, and you saw the difference that made. And then Brett Favre was the next addition. I wish the Vikings were in a spot that we could recklessly speculate about Myles Garrett, though. But they're just like, there's almost zero chance that they would be
no,
involved.
he's not coming there.
So, okay, Declan's final prediction.
All right, write this down. I'll have this one hopefully come off the board in the next few weeks or a little less than a month. But Kwesi will have a new contract before legal tampering begins. I think we're going to get a new contract for Kwesi in the next few weeks. So write it down. New contract for Kwesi Adofo-Mensah before legal tampering begins.
Okay. So legal tampering is going to be, is it the Monday or do they start it on the Sunday night? I guess we could pull up the old league calendar, but usually it's like Monday. It's the 10th, right? Monday, March 10th.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I've got the calendar out.
That's right.
It's physical calendar.
It's the March 10th. Yes,
Monday,
10th. March 10th, and then the league year starts.
What time?
I think it starts at 10 or 11 our time on Monday, and then the league year, which is the greatest day of the year, forget Christmas, Easter, who cares? The 13th, it opens at 3 p.m. So signings can become official at 3 p.m. on the 13th.
So you have 12. It's 11 a.m. Central Time on March 10th that the negotiating period begins. So write this down.
Write this down.
The Vikings will agree to terms reportedly with a free agent within, I'll give them a 4-hour window. Within 4 hours of the legal tampering period opening up, the Vikings they're going to jump in. So basically by 3 p.m. Central Time on March 10th, there will be a report of the Vikings agreeing to terms with a free agent.
Okay, yep. Easily see that.
Sometimes you get deals like in the first hour and you're like, wait a second, you guys just hammered out a $40 million guaranteed $100 million contract in 6 minutes? At least pretend like you weren't.
The Vikings will leave the combine with at least one, if not two, deals done, right? Like, agreed to.
Like, you're going to want to know with Milton Williams or with Trey Smith where you stand. You're not making your first contact at 11 a.m. Central Time on March 10th. Hey, so...
hey, what's going on?
Hey, Levi on Wuzarike.
Can you sign?
It's Quace.
It's Quace.
It's the Quace Meister.
Quace Meister.
Write this down.
So there's your predictions, your accountabilities. Day 1, week 1 of the 2025 Write That Down season. Congratulations to Dynasty Declan over here with his third consecutive accuracy title.
Congratulations. Very nice. Well done. Dynasty is right.
He knows how to play the game at a very high level. Let's put a bow on the quarterback cesspool challenge as well here, if we could.
Hold your water.
The quarterback cesspool challenge, which is a weekly celebration of bad quarterback play in the National Football League. So all season long, regular season into postseason, each member of the show selects a quarterback that we think is going to play like garbage that weekend. The scoring is QBR on a 0 to 100 scale, 100 being perfect, 0 being worst performance of all time. So getting down to the Super Bowl, Declan was eliminated in third place, and it's kind of a formality because Judd has been running away with the quarterback cesspool challenge. But you did get the first pick last week, and you picked Jalen Hurts, and I did land on Patrick Mahomes, who put up one of the worst quarterback performances, QBR, all season of any quarterback, an 11.4 QBR. And I think it was like 1 at halftime after that stretch in the second quarter. So I pick up the Super Bowl win. Jalen Hurts had a 75.4 QBR. But on the season, Judd Zolgad runs away with the quarterback cesspool challenge.
Thank you.
9 weekly wins.
Thank you.
To my 6, to Declan's 5. A 42.5 average QBR, which is well below the average of 50. I was at 47.4. And Declan at 51.4.
I have an idea. I have a new addition to the QB cesspool challenge.
Yeah.
You guys tell me if this is possible. I think so. We should definitely still do the weekly ones, or repick like a different QB each week. I still think we keep that format. However, what if we each pick a quarterback, one quarterback, and we have to have him all season long.
Okay.
And we are not allowed to use that pick for our weekly one, but we could use, like if I took, Geno Smith, and Phil took Will Levis for all season for 2025. I can use Will Levis in a weekly one, but I can't use Geno Smith for a weekly one. Basically, we take one QB and we ride him all season long.
And then would that be like a separate contest to the weekly?
Yeah. So we're tracking one guy throughout the entire season, and then we're still doing the weekly pick of cesspool guys each week. And we could even make it fun and try to pick like a decent top 10 quarterback, and we have to ride that QBR. Like what if we took the top 10 QBRs from last year of quarterbacks, and we have to ride with one of them, and if one of them, finishes with the worst QBR, we'd win that pool.
So as the separate thing.
Yep, as a separate two bins.
Let's keep workshopping this.
Yeah.
But I like it a lot. I would say this: if it's a separate thing, I don't see why he couldn't be used though in the individual. Like
so you could double up in a week, basically.
Double up in a week. I guess you could.
Because it's two very separate things. So because I feel like early in the season at times, but before guys start to get hurt, there are definitely guys that you want to use, but you're going to try to take a quarterback in the season long one who's sort of crappy.
Yeah.
So I like the
biggest thing we have to figure out, like even independent of Dex's idea, is what to do with the playoffs. And maybe the answer is it's not a playoff game.
I just don't think we do one.
Yeah. Well, I think that there's a conversation potentially to be had about doing certainly the first round of the playoffs and maybe the second, but it ends there.
So because Super Wildcard Weekend, there's still some.
Oh, and you can have
a couple quarterbacks.
Yeah, you can have a little bit dicey quarterback. Yeah, but I think that once you get deep into the playoffs, it's just not fun anymore.
Well, it was fun. It was fun for me individually watching Patrick Mahomes put up an 11.4 QBR for pride purposes.
Where does that rank, I wonder, among the worst all-time Super Bowl QBRs? Like that's Stan Humphries 94 Chargers like.
It's really bad. Yeah, and they don't calculate QBR past a certain. I don't know that there's even like QBR calculations for the 70s and the 80s. I don't know if they can go back and do it. I mean, there's passer rating, and it was also just a lot harder to put up great quarterback performances when you had, Deacon Jones head slapping everybody, and it's just. But that's the thing. Brady never got smoked in a Super Bowl like this, and. Now, John Elway did. John Elway got smoked 2 or 3 times in Super Bowls back in the 80s. Like that game against Washington.
True.
The Niners beat the Broncos like 50-10 or
55-10, I think it was. Yeah, I think that was in the Superdome.
Yeah. But it is definitely one of the historically most terrible quarterback performances in Super Bowl history. Yeah.
Tarkington and a couple of those maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, the Vikings got slapped.
Yep. Real quick here, boys. A shout out to a couple quick things. We're going to do a quick mock, and this one's going to be presented by Blackstack. So I was hanging out yesterday with Cooper and the crew from Blackstack and Brixworth. Brixworth is helping to power Flagrant Howls. Blackstack here on Purple Daily. During the season, you can actually find Blackstack beer inside US Bank Stadium during Vikings games. And we're putting together some plans to do an event, hopefully at Blackstack sometime in the coming weeks. Just an amazing tap room. If you haven't been to it, it's inside a former Spam Can factory in St. Paul. And in addition to all the great Blackstack beers that you can find distributed in liquor stores throughout Minnesota, Wisconsin, South Dakota, Nebraska, etc., they've got even more limited edition beers. But they have a 190-inch big screen TV, food trucks, pop-ups every day, lounge chairs, couches, just an awesome, awesome space for gatherings. Blackstackbrewing.com to see their events calendar and the delicious beer. So, interesting mock popped up.
I want a mock!
A bunch of people sent us this same mock here from Pro Football Focus, because it involves trades. And we know that the Sports Dad does not consider any mock draft without trades to be valid. So if you're not
demand trades.
If you're not trading, you're not really mocking is your motto.
Yes.
So he's got this is Trevor from PFF. He's got the Titans taking Abdul Carter from Penn State, the edge rusher. Travis Hunter, number 2 to the Browns. Giants taking Shedeur Sanders. He's got the Niners trading up to 5 for Mason Graham, Michigan defensive interior monster. It's the highest we've seen him go. Cam Ward to the Raiders at 6. He's got the Browns trading up to 10 to take a tackle from Texas. The Jaguars trading into 11. So he's got trades all over the place here. Chargers trading. He's got the Vikings sticking and picking at 24 with like 6 or 7 trades above this. And this is the first time we've seen this player linked to the Vikings in a mock draft. Out of Alabama, offensive guard Tyler Booker.
I want a mock.
Says the Vikings could draft a defensive back in this range, but the interior offensive line was a weak spot last year and a reason they didn't advance further in the playoffs. Booker is a rock-solid guard prospect who's talked about in high regard for his intangibles and how he approaches the game. How would you feel about a first-round guard?
So if you're going to sign a guard in free agency and then come back and do this and also have signed in free agency an interior defensive lineman, I don't mind it. Now you've got to be damn sure that this guard is your guy. But if you are, yeah, like we can't talk enough about the need to address the interior of both lines. So if you're going to come away with a guard in free agency, a guard in the first round of the draft, and in free agency again, an interior D lineman, yeah, I'd be on board with that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't object one bit.
I think it would mean that you probably didn't spend $20 million on a Trey Smith at that point.
Or would you have? And you're just going to go all out. Now, Bradbury probably comes back then. But if now 4/5 of your line is solidified, like where you're really comfortable with 2 stud tackles and 2 stud guards, you're going to feel pretty damn good about yourself. And whoever remains will be part of the rising tide, right? Like if you have that amount of studliness on your line, someone's going to benefit.
Well, you put a 325-pound monster in the water, that tide is going to rise.
You know, oh, no question. And you know I love big people in football.
You know, some people love whale watching. I just like watching offensive guards in the water. You know, like just oh honey, look at that. Oh, we got a guard there.
Oh, look at that. Honey. It looks to be. Oh, it's an offensive guard.
So there's your mock of the day here. Thursday is just one sleep away.
God.
We'll do a mock draft simulation with Thor. We'll talk more probably about his son, J.J. McCarthy, I'm sure, tomorrow.
By the way, Thor is looking chiseled. I saw another picture of Thor. Yeah. Thor is a chiseled specimen. He is now a quarterback.
He's no longer a planet-sized mutant. He's a chiseled mutant. So we'll talk to him tomorrow.
So good, Phil. You know what? I wouldn't draft him. Now. He's too thin.
He's going to put some weight back on. Him and J.J. McCarthy. Going to put some weight back on. All right, he's Judd, the sports dad. He's Dex, executive producer. I'm Phil, and this is Purple Daily, where we just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.